Think about the last time someone seemed off with you. Not angry, just off. Before they said a single word, you already knew, and before you could even figure out what happened, you were already fixing it. I want to ask you something. When was the last time someone was upset, and you waited, just waited without moving first? If you can't remember, there's something running in the background of your life that you've never had a name for. By the end of this video, you will. Someone replies with 2 words instead of 10. You notice. Someone goes quiet in a meeting. You feel responsible. Someone cancels plans. You apologize, even though they were the one who canceled. Not because you chose to, because something in you moved before you did. Or maybe it's this: someone asks what you want for dinner, and before you check, you say, "I'm fine with anything." Not because you have no preference, because having one felt like too much to ask. Or, you're in a group, someone says something that lands wrong, and you laugh. Not because it's funny, because the alternative, the pause, the look, the moment where you become the difficult one, felt more dangerous than swallowing it. People have a word for someone like you. People pleaser. Too sensitive. Can't say no. And the assumption under those words is that you don't know your own worth. But here's what they got wrong. You weren't being nice. You were trying not to be rejected. There's a difference. Niceness is a choice. This was survival. Your kindness isn't a character flaw. It's armor. And armor doesn't exist without a wound it was built around. You've been wearing it so long, you forgot you had it on, and the world rewarded you for it. Of course, you kept wearing it. At some point, you learned something, that other people's comfort was your job. Maybe someone in your life was unpredictable, warm one day, gone somewhere you couldn't reach the next, and you never knew which version you'd find. So, you learned to read the room before you entered it. Or maybe no one was angry, no one was cruel, but love felt like something that had to be earned, and the way you earned it was by being easy. So you learned to get smaller when the room felt tense, to agree faster than you actually agreed, to ask everyone what they wanted before you let yourself want anything. And it worked. That's the part no one says out loud. It worked. The performance kept things calm, kept people close, kept you safe. So your nervous system filed it under survival. Psychologists call this the Fawn response, a 4th survival mode, alongside fight, flight, and freeze. When conflict feels dangerous and escape isn't an option, the nervous system finds another way. It makes you appealing, easy, the nicest person in the room. Not because you chose to be, because nice was the only thing that felt safe. But this is where it turns. Every time you said yes when you meant no, something in you kept the record. Every time you smiled through something that hurt, something in you remembered. You don't notice at first. It feels like flexibility, like being good at relationships. But slowly, you stop checking what you actually feel. Someone asks, "What do you want?" And you go blank. Not because you have no answer, because you've been reading everyone else's answers for so long, you stopped keeping your own. And here's the part that no one is ready for. Wanting something starts to feel almost dangerous, because wanting means asking. Asking means someone might say no, and no even a gentle no, still lands in the same place it always did, so you stopped wanting things out loud. Studies show people who chronically suppress their emotional needs don't feel less, they feel it later. Sideways. In places that don't make sense. The exhaustion after a perfectly good day. The irritation aimed at the wrong person. The tears on the way home that you can't explain. That's not irrational. That's everything you held quiet. Finally finding somewhere to go. You made yourself easy to keep and impossible to find. But underneath all of it, there's something older. The fear isn't that people will be disappointed in you. The fear is that if they see who you actually are, they'll leave. The one with opinions that complicate things. The one who gets tired and needs things. The one who sometimes has nothing left to give. That version feels like a risk. So, you never fully show it. You show the useful version, the one people keep around because keeping them around is effortless. And they do keep you. But here's the quiet ache underneath it. You're never quite sure if they're keeping you or the version you've been performing. And that uncertainty, never knowing whether you're loved or just convenient, becomes its own kind of loneliness. The kind you feel surrounded by people who care about you. And then there's the last layer. At some point, the performance stops being something you do. It becomes something you are. You're the one no one checks on, the one who handles things, who holds space for everyone, even when no one is holding it for you. And people love that about you. So, you hold it tighter. Because if you stopped, if you took up space, said no, showed up with needs instead of answers, what would they do with that version of you? Somewhere along the way, the person with desires and limits and bad days started to feel like the problem. The agreeable version started to feel like the solution. But the person inside never left. They're still there, not broken, just waiting to be seen. I want to tell you something. For a long time, I thought this was just who I was. The one who made things easier for everyone. The one who read the room without being asked. I thought that was the good version of me. I didn't realize I was disappearing inside it. Not dramatically, not all at once. Just slowly, quietly. The way something goes missing when you're always giving it away. And what I found, when I finally looked, wasn't someone broken underneath. Just a person with ordinary needs, ordinary fears, wanting to be kept, not just kept around. That was real. If any of this sounds like you, the way you move through rooms already adjusted, the way you monitor moods before they change, the way you make yourself easier before anyone asks, I want you to hear this. That is not who you are. That is what you learned to do when being yourself felt like too much of a risk. Your kindness is real, but so is the person underneath it. And the fact that you've been carrying both the warmth and the weight of it for this long, that's not weakness. That's how hard you've been trying to stay. One question: when was the last time someone asked what you needed and you actually answered? Leave it in the comments. One sentence, one word, whatever's honest. And if there's a layer you want me to find next, leave it below. I'll be reading every single one, because your logic matters, and I think it's time we found it. Becoming the nicest person in the room isn't the only way this works. Some of you didn't become easy. You became something else, something even harder to see. That's the next layer. I'll see you there.